about Shedeur Sanders, who announced yesterday his commitment to Florida Atlantic, and he is now the highest rated commitment, according to ESPN, in Florida Atlantic history. Okay, this is just a month after Michael Irvin II announced he was transferring from Miami to Florida Atlantic. This is also the place where Willie Taggart's kid is playing quarterback. This is also the place where Chris Robinson has 2 years left. So they're pretty well stocked at quarterback. And if nothing else, Willie Taggart has put together great PR wins. And depending on who you listen to, Shedeur Sanders can either play or he can't. And the reason that we care is, one, he's a 4-star quarterback, according to some, 5-star quarterback according to others, and 3-star in the composite, right? He's ranked 219 overall. Well, 4-star in the composite, excuse me. But the reason we care is that his dad is Deion Sanders. And his dad, who made his bones as a defensive back in the professional ranks and at Florida State, is the offensive coordinator at Trinity Christian in Cedar Hill, Texas. That is where Shedeur showed everybody he got it. This man has done nothing but win and throw tutties. Okay? So as a junior, Shedeur Sanders threw for 3,477 yards with 47 touchdowns, just 4 interceptions. The next year, the year before that, he threw for 3,088 yards with 42 touchdowns, 7 picks. Okay? He is a dual threat quarterback to some and a pro-style quarterback to others. But what he really is a winner, 27-1 as a starting quarterback. His brother Shiloh plays corner at South Carolina, and his brother Deion Jr. played wideout at SMU. And, you know, we know Deion Sanders' credentials, okay? But I thought it was really interesting to take a look at Shedeur Sanders as a quarterback prospect and who he compares to. And turns out the comp is another dude that played college football in the state of Florida, which doesn't really narrow it down, RJ. I get that. But Jacoby Brissett played at Florida, right? Was in the same recruiting class as Jeff Driscoll. One of those guys won a Super Bowl. One of those guys did not. But the comp makes sense here, and it's really my buddy out in the West Coast, Greg Biggins, had the best evaluation for him, saying highly productive and a winner with a pair of state championships to his name, athletic frame, moves well and can extend plays, does a nice job making that initial pass rusher miss, doesn't panic, and shows poise and calmness in the pocket, has dual threat ability and can pick up big chunks of yards with his legs, but doesn't take off and run as much as you would expect. Has enough arm strength to get the ball down the field and shows nice touch on his deep ball. Can tighten his release a bit, but has some solid tools that project well to college. Upside is an impact, upper tier, Power 5 starter, and potential NFL draft pick. Of course, last year, Trinity Christian goes 13-1, third consecutive Division II state title in the parochial school division. Then 2018, 14-0, state championship. So to your question, one, Rayberry, first one is, no, the man can't run the 40 backward. Okay. The second one is he's a pro-style quarterback in a modern-day football era.
Yeah.
He is a dual-threat quarterback in 1995.
So I took some initiative while you were talking and pulled up his highlights and have been watching them the whole time you've been talking. And, yeah, I agree with that assessment a lot. I can tell his arm strength from his video. This is junior year, so, you know, it's probably not what you'd say, like, when you look at, like, the top-end guys.
How's his footwork?
Huh? His footwork is solid. He's a little slow-footed, but not, like, in a sense that I get. I mean, everything that guy said was spot on. Like, I agree with it.
How's his release?
But, yeah, I mean, the arm strength to me did pop out. I've seen him make a couple throws where I was like, they were eye poppers. But, like, when you can also tell that he puts a lot of good touch on the ball. And that's what stood out to me watching him pass, like the decision making. Like, he throws a good ball. It's not a rocket. Like, you know what I'm talking about. When you watch a guy that throws a football and puts velocity on it, you can tell. It looks like he's shooting missiles out there. I don't see that, but I do see good placement. So that's my 15-minute, evaluation.
I hadn't been talking for 15 minutes.
No, I pulled it up in there in the break. I mean, it probably wasn't 15, more like 10 minutes. 10 minutes. It's like a microwave evaluation, RJ.
This kid either has it or he doesn't. This kid has it.
He appears to have moxie. Is that what you want me to say?
When you start talking about how his girlfriend looks, I'm going to come through the glass.
I'm not going to do that. That's not what I'm doing.
Okay.
I'm not about that life.
Okay.
I know. I'm being serious now. Like, I'm watching the ball pop out of his hand. Like, and you can tell. And I just was interested because, let's be real, when you hear Deion Sanders kid and then you see pro style quarterback, you're like, wait, Deion's like notorious for being like one of the fastest dudes ever. And
a pro style quarterback is also an affiliation or a designation, I should say, that he doesn't come up with. Right.
And I'm not blaming him for it.
Prime time probably just says my kid is something else entirely.
I didn't know maybe he was like 6'5" and a giant and
he's
slow-footed.
About 6'2", 210.
Yeah. No, and seeing him in person, I get it. And while it's kind of funny. It was like you were narrating the highlight video. Like, as I'm listening to it, I'm watching him like cut through the defense, and you're like, he can run, but he chooses not to.
To answer your question, right? He's got an enormous amount of rush attempts, though, too.
Yeah.
94 rush attempts for a quarterback where they throw the ball 300, 350 times over the course of the season is a lot, right? Those are Jalen Hurts kinds of numbers, right? You're getting up to the 150 stretch, you might as well be a tailback. And, I think he has that ability. But the thing that I find to be the most interesting about this story is it Deion Sanders. His kids have gone places and sucked, okay? So that, I think, even talking about, when you think about Deion Sanders' kid, what it would be like, you'd think he'd be good is the start, and then Deion Jr. wasn't that good. Shiloh Sanders hasn't turned out to be that good. Maybe Shedeur breaks the mold, but what I found to be most interesting is you have two alpha dads, two football dads, who have sent their kids to go play for Willie Taggart. Michael Irvin is a football dad. He is going to tell you what your scheme should be. He's going to tell you how you should use his kid, and if he does not agree with you or how you are doing those things, you will hear from him. Deion Sanders became an offensive coordinator just so his kid had the best offensive coordinator available. That's how he put it. Deion Sanders became the offensive coordinator at Trinity Valley with a defensive background. And then, surprise, his kid is the quarterback. And now you're putting that kid into a position where he's going to compete with the head coach's kid for the same position. They both play quarterback. That is why this is going to be so much fun to watch. Willie Taggart's kid is already committed and signed. Now Deion Sanders' kid is committed at a Florida Atlantic squad where they have the #1 class in Conference USA, which doesn't mean much outside of Conference USA, but it means quite a bit when you are defending Conference USA champion. You're following in the footsteps of a Lane Kiffin who got that program back to good. And it stands to reason, not this year, but maybe in the next couple of years, Willie Taggart puts together a good season this year and a 10-win season the next year. He ain't going to be there. He's going to get another Power 5 job, and he's going to get in crayon that you got to give him time to build it, so you can't Florida State him. I'm just saying here, man, there's a lot here. So if Willie Taggart is around for a derby that pits his kid versus Deion Sanders' kid, and both of them are throwing passes to Michael Irvin II, I'm going to be here for it. I'm going to be like the folks watching Will and Jada at the red table talking about, y'all have taken it to the red table? Excuse me, I got to get my beverage. Let me get my popcorn. Proceed, because I am here just for the jokes. I am here for the jokes. I'm here for Willie Taggart telling Deion Sanders that he got into an entanglement, and that's why his kid is the starting quarterback at Florida Atlantic.
We're saying entanglement now. That's the thing.
That's what I'm here for.
We're spilling that tea.
No, but it's not spilled. It's out there. They started talking about their marriage in public.
It's true.
I can't get behind that, man. So if you go give it out there, yes, we making jokes. And all the jokes are being made because their marriage is non-traditional. And now we got people watching Focus for clues. Watching Suicide Squad for clues. This dude, August, is getting dragged, but not dragged like Will Smith, who's getting put on blast by everybody. 50 Cent screen capped DMs and posted them to his public account. What? Yo! I would be at your house.
50's a troll, though.
But I don't care. I would be at your house. So if that could happen with Shedeur Sanders and with Willie Taggart Jr., Willie Taggart, Deion Sanders, I'm here for it, man. You got 2 Pro Football Hall of Famers with 2 of the biggest egos ever in the NFL.
Yep.
Whose kids are playing for you, and your kid is going to play quarterback?
Okay.
Yo!
It's funny because reading that article earlier, I saw the same thing, and those are the 2 things that jumped out at me immediately was Deion Sanders' kid, and then, wait, Willie Taggart's kid is also there, and he's going to be competing against him, and he chose to go there? Like, that was what I was thinking. I'm like, man, I'm a 4-star kid. Because, let's be real, a 4-star kid going to Florida Atlantic is already like, oh, man, what, No,
it's not. Chris Robinson went to Florida Atlantic.
I'm not saying it hasn't happened. It's not unprecedented. But when you think of a highly recruited guy, generally those
DeAndre Johnson went to Florida Atlantic.
I'm not saying it doesn't happen. It's this equivalent of, like, even when Houston gets a guy like that, it's a big deal. It's like the gem of their recruiting class, usually. That's the way it's viewed, unless in the fan bases and things. Like, they get excited about that.
See, what I have a problem with right now is you are really trying to give this your football brain. Okay? And I understand why you want to give it your football brain. I really do. I get the appeal of giving it your football brain. But I submit to you, there is no way that all 4 of them cats, all 4 of them cats make it through Florida Atlantic together.
Right, and that's what I was getting at. He willingly chose to go there. Like, if I'm going somewhere and the head coach's kid is the quarterback and is a highly touted player in itself, like, I'm like, okay, maybe I don't want to go to that school, especially when you look at Florida and there's a ton of smaller schools.
No, but it gets deeper, right?
Right.
Who was the first to offer Shedeur Sanders?
Yeah, and it was Willie Taggart.
Right. Okay? So you have a relationship there that is building, but you also did not have a ton of committable offers that were worth,
right.
your leverage, especially as somehow ESPN ranks Shedeur Sanders as the number 41 overall prospect in their 2020 rankings. I've said this for years. The ESPN rankings are the ones that are the furthest away, right? Rivals and 247, pretty close.
Yeah, generally pretty close.
Pretty close. You got your Mario Williamses, right? But for the most part, you're pretty close. This is why the composite is such a big deal. What?
Who runs ESPN's?
It depends on who you talk to.
Do they have like a?
It could be Jerry Hamilton. It could be Tom Van Haren. It could be Luganville. It just depends.
Did they like take over another service when they first started doing that, like publicly?
No.
Or did they just in-house?
They created their own in 2009.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know if maybe they took over a site and then just made it ESPN's ranking.
And I said no.
No, I know. I was clarifying.
So CBS Sports bought out Scout.
Yeah.
Among other things, and Rivals has always been Rivals.
Yeah, Rivals has been around forever.
As Yahoo has changed who owns it, Rivals changed ownership, but they're independent public. I'm not going to get into the politics of that.
No.
Point is that somebody thinks that Shedeur Sanders is on the verge of 5-star. And knowing that he's on the verge of 5-star, you would expect to see better offers for him that are committable offers. Him taking the offer to Florida Atlantic says 2 things. 1, he thinks he's going to play almost right away. And 2, didn't really have the Ohio States, the Alabamas, the Arkansas even, the Oklahomas reaching out to Shedeur Sanders. But here's the thing, man. I say parents are undefeated in recruiting. You know who stays taking L's? Football dads. Football dads stay taking L's. If your dad has something to say to the coordinator, the quarterback's coach, or the head coach, that spells doom for you. Matter of fact, Bob used to have a conversation with the freshmen when they got there. And the conversation started with, I don't want to hear word one from your parents about your playing time. Nothing. Don't want to hear it. Because your daddy called up there, and I'm sure coach will hear your daddy out. And then guess what you got? Fewer reps, push to the back of the line, less coaching, more yelling. Yo, man, what happened? My dad called. Your dad did what? He know you got to work here, though, right? Because that's what it is.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it is. It's your parents showing up when it's inconvenient for your parents to show up. That's what that is. And I can't imagine how much Deion Sanders is going to be in Willie Taggart's chili. I can't imagine how much Michael Irvin's going to show up there and start trying to cook. Knowing that both of them dudes do national television for the NFL.
Right, and what if...
And they can't wait to drag somebody.
Well, and both those dudes got history. I mean, they've been teammates. So you know that, like, what if they come together and they decide Deion's kid needs to be the quarterback? Then that's a whole nother can of worms, especially when you're talking about...
No, they can decide. They can decide. Guess what Willie's going to do?
Right, that's what I mean. It's his kid.
No.
It's so interesting.
I'm not even saying that. Willie will tell your kid to go home.
Right.
And then what? Then where are you going to go? Because it ain't the kid that you have to worry about. It's his parents.
Well, and it's winning.
No.
You got to win.
And this year and the next year, everybody getting a pass.
Right.
That's why I did the coaching hot seat segment yesterday. Everybody getting a pass.
The past year is this year.
No, but still, like, I would send him home and make a point to all of my other players. If Deion Sanders and Michael Irvin can't tell me nothing, guess what your parents definitely can't do? Nah, man, this is going to be some red table stuff. That's what's going to happen.
Steve from accounting better not come up here.
You're going to have one of these dudes, probably Deion or Michael, showing up, puffy-eyed, looking real depressed, looking like don't want to be there, talking about, why don't you tell us what happened, Jada? I told you what happened. I got into an entanglement with August. An entanglement? Yes, an entanglement. A relationship. Yeah, a relationship. Wait a second.
Can we...
What? Like, I can't wait for this.
Entanglement.
This is going to be so much fun.
Entanglement implies that you just kind of casually fell into somebody.
An entanglement with August.
Like, you get in an entanglement when you bump into someone at the grocery store. Like...
Oh my God. I can't believe they did that. And that's her house, right? That's not his house. His house is his YouTube channel. Her house is on Facebook on the red table where Aisha Curry showing up to be like, I want to be valued by other men. You married to Steph Curry. You got Steph Curry babies. What are you doing on the red table with this? Yeah, I don't understand, man. All you going to get is celebrity dragged. That's all you going to get. And if Will Smith can get celebrity dragged, everybody can get celebrity dragged.
Do I need to remind her that Will Smith single-handedly saved this fine nation from aliens?
And she...
In 1997.
And here she is talking about this dude that was 24 when she's, about 20 years older, owing it at will, who just went over 50. Like, you want to talk about grown men being in their feelings. Grown men would be like, yo, that's Mike Lowry. Did she do that to Mike Lowry? Meanwhile...
Bad Boys for Life. And then they made the Bad Boys for Life reference at the end.
You better value her. You better value her. You didn't value her. If you didn't value her, you don't deserve her. What did they say? Put a ring on it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm with that. I get that. I understand that. But I'm also not the dude taking it to the red table. And I'm not the dude that's going to send my kid to go play in Boca Raton with the head coach's kid at the same position where I know that I got my hooks into the kids. I know that I became the offensive coordinator at Trinity Christian so that my kid had the best offensive coordinator because I think I'm the best offensive coordinator. You can't imagine what it's going to be like for Deion Sanders to watch them play. Now you know a little bit about offensive football.
By the way, that shows you, that tells you so much about Deion. The man is an all-pro corner, and he's I'm the offensive coordinator.
No. Deion Sanders said it at draft time, 1989. That man said, they don't pay me to be quiet. They don't pay me to be humble. And he said, look at Jim McMahon, which is all you need to know. All right. Coach and Eric G are up next on the Pat Jones Show. You've been listening to the RJ Young Show on Your Home Sports, the sports animal.